Hi everybody, I'm doing a different video today. This is about steaming my Levi jeans so that they will last longer. Now I happen to have a favorite make and model of jeans, and that is the Levi 550s, and I get them in size 34 waist and 36 inseam. These are not so easy to come by where I live. That's South Africa, so I like to keep them in good shape. And also I've made this into a bit of a scientific project, is to see how long I can keep them in good shape, and I found that the best way is by steaming them. So we'll get right into it. Firstly, obviously you want to keep the jeans clean. Now these I happen to have worn for the last week, not actually the whole week, but 3 days, and I'm going to go through the process that I go through after having worn them a few days. I hope that's not too distasteful, but anyway, first thing is you want to turn them inside out and shake them off, because, well, this is the U factor. Generally what will accumulate inside your jeans is dead skin. You shed it all the time, so you shake them out. Now you don't want any growth of any nasty bacteria or anything like that, so you want to get rid of as much debris as possible, and I use a fairly hard brush. It happens to be a toilet brush, but it's never seen the inside of a toilet, and I brush them down, especially where it might have seams. Now when you're wearing your jeans, there are going to be two things that accumulate on the inside, and that is, like I mentioned, skin and sweat, I suppose, although it's been pretty cold the last couple of weeks here and I haven't been sweating much. Now sweat isn't much to worry about. The leftovers of sweat are salt and urea, so for bacteria, that's not going to cause bacteria growth, but protein is. Now you're probably not going to get a whole lot of nasty bacteria anyway. By the way, about bacteria, you carry a fair amount of bacteria in your body as it is, and without them you would die. And the amount of bacteria you carry is around about 10 times as many bacterial cells as you carry human cells. So don't be scared of your bacteria. Generally they are your friends. Okay, so now we've done our brush off, and now we get to our steaming device. There it is. It's one that I picked up quite a few years ago, and it's stood the test of time. But I must admit that when something stands the test of time for me, it generally means that I've repaired it and fixed it a few times, and that is also the case with this one. So in this case it's a Genesis steamer that I bought locally, and it takes about, it seems like about probably 300 milliliters of water, and screw it up and plug it in. It won't take too long to heat up because the water I put in there was pretty hot to start off with. Okay, now I'm using my preferred attachment, which is like a pipe. As you can see, and it'll become clear why I use that fairly soon. Now, while we're waiting for that to heat up, I'm going to move the camera around and hopefully it stands there, and you will see something else that I use, which is essentially a tool, a workbench that has got all sorts of attachments that I've set up on it, and yeah, I don't use it as a woodwork bench as such. I use it for various other things, and one of them being the steaming of my jeans. Now these are genuine Levi Strauss. Quality never goes out of style for over 140 years. This is a pair of them. Yeah. I'm a big fan of Levi's because they have definitely delivered on what they promise. And the 550s are available if you try hard enough, and I certainly did. And there's a shout out for Chip Berg, the CEO of Levi Strauss in San Francisco, who was kind enough to action the delivery of 5 pairs of these to me in my most recent batch that I've ordered, and that was over a year ago now. Yeah, thank you, Chip Berg. Right, so our steamer is starting to warm up, and you can see it starts off a little bit blowing out wet steam. You want to wait until the steam coming out of it is fairly dry and hot. Now, you'll notice that having put this into my workbench, I have closed up the ends, well, the top of the jeans, and they're pretty sealed up over there. And there's a reason for that, is that I want the steam to go into the jeans and to kind of diffuse out through the fabric, and that works pretty well if you close at the end. Obviously not everybody has got exactly the same facilities as I have, but I'm sure with a little bit of ingenuity you can achieve the same result. Now we insert this extension pipe into the top of the jeans and generally just close it off a bit and start pumping the steam. Now, as you can see, it's diffusing through the fabric quite nicely. Now, cotton loves to be steamed. It doesn't like to be laundered all that much, especially when dried in a tumble dryer. So this is actually refurbishing the cotton back to its original state. And I've got some of these Levi's that are now heading for 15 years old, and they still looking pretty good. So I'd say you can easily get a decade out of a pair of jeans, fairly regular wear, if you treat them in this fashion. And it's not to say that I never launder them. Possibly once every 2 months or so they get into the laundry, and that doesn't mean I'm wearing the same pair of jeans for 2 months at a stretch. Generally I wear them maybe 3 days before I steam them. Now the temperature of the water vapor here is, I assume, more than 100 degrees Celsius, so it's certainly killing off any bacteria that might be in the fabric, and the areas that I've done are pretty hot. So you know, the nasties are definitely getting their comeuppance. Not that I think that there are serious nasties lurking in my jeans. I've never had a problem. Okay, so that's the first side of the first leg. We'll hit the second side, and same process. We take the pipe up into the pant leg and pump our steam in. It's actually quite a satisfying thing to do, and also I think it's a very green thing to do, because as you can see I used about 300 milliliters of water to do this. Now in a washing machine you'd probably, for one pair of jeans, be running, a rough estimate, 10 liters of water. And so that's one issue about the water consumption. But the biggest issue by far is by extending the life of your jeans and not buying new ones too regularly. You're not using the manufacturing water of your denims. How much water does it take to manufacture a pair of jeans, denim jeans? I think it is something horrifying. Like, you know, I can't remember the figure. It was either 2,000 liters or 20,000 liters of water for one pair of jeans. And that's from the amount of water it takes to grow the cotton all the way to whatever they do with it in the dyeing process and all that sort of thing. So the very fact that you're extending the life of your clothing is a very earth-saving endeavor. So yeah, it's quite, it's got that advantage as well. And from my channel you'll see that I like to do things that are saving the planet, like I ride my e-bike and generally try and do my bit. So there we are. We've done the second side of the second leg. Now we'll unwind our vise and flip the legs back to normal and do the other side of each leg. And slip it in to the vise. There's another thing that steam can do is actually resize your clothing to its original shape and form. And that's quite useful as well. That I think if your clothes, like a t-shirt for instance, is shrunk, you can steam it and get it back to its original shape. So I recommend you try that. Now generally give it quite a long steam for the inside legs, and this is hot, and that's I definitely think those if there are any bacteria inside there, they definitely getting wiped out. Poor bacteria, it's such a bad rap. Okay, let's go down a bit further. Now all the steam that you see is coming through the fabric. And I've seen a picture of sort of like a microscopic picture and showing how the cotton fibers are all sort of relaxing into their original form. So they seem to have something of a hysteresis. It's like a memory effect, and by steaming them you put them back into their original form. Okay, now for the sake of the video, I'm not going to do this for too long. I might generally have spent a little longer doing each section, but we'll just go through the steps, and the last side of the last leg. Now, there's actually a trick that I wanted to mention that I've performed. What if your jeans do indeed last 10 years, which many of mine have, and you find that they've gotten tight and smaller around the waist, and you're having problems like that? Well, there's something you can do about that. I found a very useful type of vinegar. It's called apple cider vinegar. And you mix it with water and you drink it. And you combine that with an exercise called planking. And mysteriously, your jeans start to fit your waist again. So there's a solution for you, and that's exactly what I have done, because I'm certainly not going to throw away perfectly good Levi Strauss denim jeans, and I've stuck to the same size for the last probably more than 15 years. But to some extent, that is thanks to the amazing properties of apple cider vinegar. But that's got very little to do with steaming of jeans. But it's just something I stuck in there. So, we're now reaching the end of our steam. And well, we'll go with that. Now, let's take them out. Now, obviously, they're not going to be ironed as such, but surprisingly, they will be quite smooth and quite wearable if hung out, with on a normal hanger. Oh, and the way to hang them is to take them like this, and then fold them like so, and there will certainly be no creases or any untidy looking features. So that is a nicely steamed pair of Levi's, and they'll be good for another few days. I reckon you could stretch it for a week of wear, and smells like nothing, and you've saved water and you've saved your jeans. So thank you for watching the video. Please like, share and subscribe.